Hi, we're Jack and Ray. I'm Jack, the Chinese half of Jack and Ray.
And I'm Ray, apparently the Indian half.
Hi, my name is Amni and I am a singer, songwriter, producer. And this is...
I am Gareth Fernandez. I wear two hats. So by day I'm in tech sales, and by night I'm Batman. I'm kidding. I also am a singer-songwriter.
Hi guys, I'm Jermaine. I'm 24. I love making TikToks and eating Tom Yum Ee Mian.
Hi guys, I'm Rajun, I'm 25 and I'm a student at NTU.
So, the question is, what were your first impressions of each other when you first met and how has it changed over time?
The first time I met him, he didn't meet me because I was out looking for music. When I saw Ray on stage, I was like, wow, this mama fella can sing.
First impression was like very steady, very professional, right? And then over time, I think I got to see more of like the sweet, nurturing side of you.
I thought that you were a very funny guy because you kept making jokes, funny jokes. Yeah, and you were way smaller back then.
I thought you were quite a serious person. But then when we talked, I'm like, oh my god, he's so friendly and nice.
Because when we all first came into JC, we were all like, like so awkward. And then when you realize you talk to her, it's actually like very genuine and very sincere. And I like that about her. And I think that has not changed over the years. And you're also very funny.
Aww.
I'm funnier.
So, this guy, nice and bubbly, he's like this red-colored chap on stage. And just always smiley. No matter what song he sang, sad songs, was still smiling.
How comfortable is your generation in having race-related conversations?
I think for our generation, I feel like as though we don't have problems with making fun of each other.
Yeah.
Sometimes, just having a casual laugh about certain stereotypes or things like that. And, we kind of just joke about it and move on. But we kind of know what the core of our friendship is like. I don't think much offense is taken unless there's a situation which is maybe too personal or hits too close to home or too sensitive. Then, I feel we're open enough to say, hey, I didn't quite like the comment.
I can't speak for my whole generation,
Yeah.
but I feel pretty comfortable having these conversations because I also learn about it in school. We have like a deep dive, or I get like a wider lens, and I also hear like my classmates talk about it. So what I had in mind about race before university and after university is way different. So now I'm also a lot more comfortable talking about it.
The older generation is a little bit more presumptuous.
Yeah.
There's
prejudice.
There's a lot of prejudice. I feel like we're better. Millennials are slightly better. And I think with everything that's happening right now in the world, we learn to be a little bit more careful with our words. But still, I feel like we still need to work on it.
Yeah.
We just are able to take the piss out of each other a little bit sometimes. And we know that some jokes come across as just like, just make fun of you because, they're just being a dumbass and we are all cool with that. But like you said, sometimes when things get a little bit, hits a bit close to home, then I think we are open enough to say, hey dude, that's not cool, man.
We're all human beings with different upbringings. So based on your different upbringing, that is when you will be either comfortable about talking about racism or whether you'll be racist also.
My parents, bless their heart, I think they're not racist in their hearts, but sometimes they'll pass like a comment about, whoa, mom, dad, you can't say that anymore. And it's not mean or anything, it's just like some of the terms they use, you just can't say that.
Yeah.
And they're like, sorry. So at least they're trying. Millennials, definitely, I guess it really is internet, right? Because of social media, internet, we're like, we can't say that. Last time when 15 years ago, I can hear other people saying the N-word in raps. Which is not our problem, not our fight, not our problem, but you can't say it anymore, right? Which is great. Gen Z, Gen Alpha, they're even more woke, even more careful. And some people say it's too much, there's no social justice warrior and everything, but I actually think that I would rather people be a bit too careful than to be abrasive and mean.
What are some of the things you appreciate and admire most about each other's cultures?
There's this tendency in Chinese culture to be very, very competitive. So what I do like about quite a lot of my Malay friends, right, there's a bit more emphasis on happiness and like familial life and just like enjoying the moment rather than what I grew up with, which is like, what moment? it's another moment to make more money. So I
okay.
think I really appreciate that.
I mean, on the surface level of things, I have to tell you, I enjoy the food because every time it's, that time of the year.
Typical Singaporean.
Yeah, Deepavali time. Actually, the funny thing, we always, not always, but sometimes we notice that when we go eat at a hawker center, like you will go and eat mee pok and I will go and eat prata. and he knows my favorite combination of, my prata go-to when I'm at the mamak store.
Growing up in secondary school, we always have this Chinese dance CCA, and they will have like the most intense choreography, most intense training, and I always love watching that performance. And like, yeah, I feel like the Chinese culture itself has so much. It is an ancient culture as well, just like the Indian culture. So I feel like there's so much like depth and richness to it as well, which is what I appreciate.
What I love is learning languages, and Mandarin is one of the languages that I learned when I was in kindergarten, and I still try to use it when I can. Sometimes under Jack's supervision, which isn't necessarily the best thing.
That's right. No. I only supervise the part where, to tell him what the meaning of the word is. But funny enough, enunciation, delivery, singing a Chinese song.
Yeah, the last time Jack sang a Chinese song on stage, me and my other bandmates just started laughing.
Yeah. I'm like, okay,
don't
Chinese
know-
guy
we
sing
don't
the
know
Chinese
why.
song. Then I can see from the corner of my eye that
I feel like your culture is very, very rich in terms of like, personally for what interests me is like the fashion and like the makeup. Like recently, TikTok, the
Yeah, the Ahsoka trend, right?
yeah. I think that is very beautiful, and I see you doing that on social media also, and I really appreciate it.
For me, I don't really fancy Malay food. If you ask me, do you like nasi lemak or biryani? I'm like, it's a bit too. It's a bit too.
Sure.
It's a bit too. Too short and amazing.
Yeah.
I like Chinese food also because I actually admire how much you guys make sure that your food is healthy.
Yeah.
And whatever you put in your body is important.
But it's like sometimes the soups are like tasteless.
No,
Sorry,
it's
anyway.
not. You're getting it wrong.
Have you ever had to stand up for your friend when they face racial discrimination? If yes, tell us about your experience. If no, have you witnessed it happen to others?
So I went to a music school in Boston.
Yeah.
And so one day I was walking down the street with my Chinese friend, and we were walking down, and I remember very specifically, she's Chinese, right? So some white guys went to spit on her. And because I learned how to speak Spanish, so I said a few terrible Spanish words
Okay.
to defend her because I felt like, hey, that's not right.
In primary school. In primary school. So I remember I was sitting in front, and then one of my Indian classmates was next to me, and then behind him was this guy, and I think he was like either kicking his chair or something, and I know that he made some kind of racist remark or something to my friend, and my friend is he's a bit soft-spoken. So I just got up and told him off, and he then said something like that to me, and then I completely lost it and I jumped on him.
Primary foray.
I was in my first job, and this company was predominantly Chinese people. There was this case where, again, it wasn't malicious, because they're actually generally quite nice people, but they kept holding meetings in Chinese.
Yeah.
And then one of my colleagues, she's Indian and she doesn't speak Chinese, obviously, right? She's like, guys, I'm here. Like, can you speak English? And she got more and more frustrated. And it would have been horrible if you said, no, too bad, you learn Chinese. That's horrible. But they kept saying, oh, sorry, we forgot you were here.
No.
Yeah, that really sucks. In hindsight, I feel like I should have said something, but because we was like different buildings and everything, I didn't know what to say.
I think it's just like so many racial discrimination that I face in my life that I can't really think of one particular scenario because I probably was either too traumatic or it was too hurtful that I don't want to remember it.
As a majority race, these jokes are funny to us because, as in those that are targeted at us, it's funny because we don't feel the repercussions of it. Because we're the majority race, you say like, we never bathe, who cares? Like, there's no repercussions from that. But then for, let's say, jokes towards against your race, right, there's actually physical repercussions that you experience. Maybe you don't get as much opportunities as others because of certain mindsets that are seeded in our brains through these like minor racist jokes. Yeah.
When we all go out to gig and sometimes I don't know whether a Chinese uncle then looks at Ray and myself and starts engaging me. Maybe don't know, the Chinese fella is the boss or whatever, and then and I say, hey, you can talk to both of us together. And sometimes, it's happened sometimes.
Sometimes I felt so ignored.
I know.
Like,
and like
standing there like, hi, I'm here. Hello.
Yeah, I was like, hey, we are together, and yeah, maybe so for me, there are certain instances where I must stand up.
How important is it to have friends of different races? And how has your friendship with someone of a different race helped you grow?
I think this is so important because
Speak your truth.
I feel like when you don't have friends of different races, your opinions and your perspectives and what you know about the world is very narrow. When you start having friends of different races, understanding their culture and everything, that's when you really become more open-minded.
You can expand your mind, your views, and you're not stuck in this bubble where maybe like your grandparents told you like, oh, Indian people are like this or Chinese people are like this. You actually have your own opinions on certain issues.
I still find myself as a kid, I constantly ask my Malay friends, oh, why do you fast? What's the meaning behind fasting? Are you hungry? Like, what do you do during fasting? What happens during fasting?
Yeah.
So I actually don't really understand from the various lessons in school, but I understand more from my friends.
I agree.
I feel that our journey has taken us to work with many people from all walks of life, all races and all religions. Now that, well, obviously we are bosses of our little F&B company. Some of the part-timers, they come about, they come and work, and during the Ramadan period, and it's crazy, and the during service and all that, and the guy comes up to me and he was so shy to ask, like, boss, can I go and break fast? I'm like, please go. And sometimes I feel bad, I feel bad that in the heat of service that I forget. And after that experience, I always make sure, like, during like, especially like Ramadan, for example, poor fella, hasn't eaten anything the whole day, and he's gonna last the whole night.
There's this one time I remember, like, it was very late, I was much younger, and then there's this big group of like people who were kind of unruly guys, and then they were all Chinese, and they looked really like they were a bit like a bit scary, like they were a bit rowdy and stuff. So I was like, oh gosh, I need to walk past this like crowded street to not crowded street, empty street. If I make a wrong move, maybe I'm a target. Then suddenly a couple, like an Indian guy joined the group, and they start laughing, and in a nice way, like they were friends. Then I felt like, I don't know why, it's like unconsciously I just felt more at ease.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a thing.
But I guess sometimes when we see big groups and then we see different races, I guess then after that we know that we're not going to be a target for something bad.
Right? I wouldn't say we have a friendship that's very based on race.
No.
We see each other as individuals. It's not like, oh, hey, I want to do Indian things, let me go and ask Ray. Or, hey, I want to do some Chinese things, let me go and ask Jack. Instead of race, it's more having different backgrounds, having different experiences, and meeting people of those backgrounds and experiences that will help you grow.
True.
Yeah. Whether you're completely rich or whether you're very poor, or just having different backgrounds and meeting people, being open enough to accept a whole spectrum of people. Yeah. That is what I would say has helped me grow in my life.
Starts with ourselves, with yourself, with whoever. Yeah.
That's it.
Thank you.